that got intense way faster. Oh, what was that?
Oh my gosh! Somebody saw me! Ah! So scary! Oh, I can't shoot!
The song goes like this.
Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. Welcome to Trial and Error, where I play the first part of a game or a game demo, usually do that pretty badly, and give you my thoughts along the way. This time I'm taking a look at Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, I just recently became a fan of this series. Last December I saw the Assassin's Creed movie in theaters, and while I thought that, it had some problems, the world was interesting to me, and so I decided to give the first game in the series a try. Very soon after that, I discovered that I really enjoyed the gameplay. Now, I'm terrible at any kind of game that requires quick thinking, hand-eye coordination, so in general, over the course of my life as a gamer, I've avoided action games, but recently they've made them to be a little bit more forgiving. Sometimes they have difficulty settings, which I really, really appreciate because I love exploring worlds and upgrading my guy. I like role-playing games a lot, but I just tend to not be good at action games, and I really don't have much patience for insta-fail conditions, like where you die and have to repeat some game material again, or you run out of time in a mission and so you have to repeat some material, or you're trying to be stealthy and you get spotted and so insta-fail, you have to go back instantly and start repeating material again. I hate that aspect of video games, which is why one of the reasons why I tend to enjoy role-playing games over action games, because there's a lot less of that in role-playing games. Now, I have had some frustrations with the Assassin's Creed series, especially in some of the missions that tend to be very restricting and have some of those things that I mentioned, time limits, or like insta-fail if you get spotted while you're trying to be stealthy. And I'm hoping that with Assassin's Creed Origins, given the fact that they've taken an extra year to make this game and revamp a lot of the elements that make this game what it is, I'm hoping that some of those frustrating aspects will go away, and I've heard that they're much more incorporating RPG elements, which sounds really good to me. I love the opportunity to level grind my way out of a difficult, hand-eye coordination combat situation, and I'd love to do without those, insta-fail, time limit type stuff. Aside from those issues, I love just the kind of the parkour, jumping around and exploring and climbing and collecting things all over the place. I love sneaking up on guys and insta-killing them from behind or whatever. So I love those more open and free types of gameplay experiences that I can have when I'm playing a typical Assassin's Creed game. Now, I have played Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and now I've just started Assassin's Creed 3. And I am not really tired of that main open world formula yet. Some of the missions are still kind of frustrating, but the main formula I really enjoy, and so I'm hoping that's not missing from this game. I'm also fascinated by the kinds of things that these games suggest about history, and specifically history related to the Christian faith. Typically in this series, anybody that is part of like an organized religion, they are the bad guys. That's very common in actually lots of fantasy genre stories and games. And the good guys, who just value personal freedom as like the highest virtue, they're assassins. And the creed itself, nothing is true, everything is permitted, is, logically self-defeating. And so there's things about the assassins that really seem to me to reflect the popular views on spiritual subjects in general today. They rewrite history in this series, going so far as to say that Jesus accomplished his miracles by the use of like an alien cape that he got his hands on, or this apple of Eden and stuff. If you want, you can check out my review of the Assassin's Creed movie, as I kind of like pick apart some of the major logical issues. Anyway, all that stuff aside, it doesn't spoil my enjoyment of the gameplay itself. It's just something that's interesting to take note of as I'm playing. So I'm really looking forward on a number of levels to seeing what this experience is going to be. Here we go. All right, I'm going to go with easy. I want the story, but do not want the struggle. Go easy on me. Ooh, the controls are definitely different from what I'm used to. You're doing light attack with R1, heavy attack with R2, it looks like. Oh, there's definitely a lot of loot to pick up. I like that. Climb. Okay, X says climb up. Am I supposed to hold X? That's weird. They're not as clear in the tutorial on this on how to control things. I'm not seeing a manual save option. Well, I have no idea what's going on in this story right now. There's an opening kind of cinematic sequence with lots of just weird clips and images. So I'm guessing it's one of those types of stories where they just kind of throw you into the middle of it and you're going to piece things together along the way. All right, when the bar is yellow, you have a small window of time to eliminate the enemy before they attack you. This is reminding me, I'm getting vibes from like Horizon Zero Dawn just a little bit. Yeah, that whole like whistling to bring bad guys near you while where you're hiding so that you can do a quick takedown. Definitely reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay, nice. So they've got different quests with suggested levels, so I can theoretically level grind my way up to make things easier on myself. I really like that. Well, it looks really nice, which is no surprise to me. Oh, he's attacking me! Why are you attacking me, dude? So let's dismount and see how sneaky we can beaky. Is he dead or not? I did a takedown. Why is he still moving around? Why was that non-lethal? Oh boy. Alright. Mostly just mashing my way through that, which is nice. Oops, sorry. Alright, let's see what I can buy here. Oh my gosh, you can buy ability points with, I assume, real money. Oh, and you can reveal locations of, what are these, like collectibles on the map? I mean, it looks like they reveal things that are on your map. I don't know how easy it is to find these things just as you're moving around in the world. But looking specifically at the ability to get ability points, to purchase ability points with real money, I am in support of that. It's a single-player game, so I'm not messing up anybody else's experience. But if I'm having trouble in the game, I'd be willing to pay for cheat codes. I have missed not being able to use a cheat device on action games since the beginning of the 360 and PS3 era of games. I mean, in a better world, I'd rather not have to pay for them, but I mean, I guess I would have to pay for and buy a cheat device to, you know, use cheats in video games. So depending on the price, I mean, I'm totally open to investing a little more money in order to cheat in a game in a way that allows me to enjoy it more as a single-player experience. So far, I like the difficulty level of the combat on easy. I don't particularly want a challenging experience. Oh, my health regenerated at some point. I don't have a mini-map. That's weird. It's going to take some getting used to, I think. Dang, you can really climb like nobody's business in this game. That's cool. There's several elements of the controls, though, that they didn't teach me about in a tutorial, like how to go from being on the top of a ledge to dropping down and hanging onto it and then going down. I just, from previous Assassin's Creed games, knew, oh yeah, you press circle usually when you're at a ledge like that to drop down. So I tried that and it did work, but there was never a tutorial prompt. So I feel like the tutorials have been a little more sparse than what I've been used to in Assassin's Creed games, which doesn't bother me, but I'm wondering if that'll be a problem for other people. There's a skull mark over there. Does that mean it's super powerful? Oh, these are birds. Is that another vulture? But it's a skull vulture. Means it's maybe extra powerful or something. Oh, dang. Am I not supposed to attack this thing? Oh, crap, it is way stronger than me, isn't it? Oh, man, just 1 damage. That's insane. Yeah, let's lock. Oh! I'm almost dead! Oh, there I go. Desynchronization. Oh yeah, what's going on in the real world? Aren't all these games based on the premise that I'm someone in the present day reliving the memories of my ancestors? We haven't been introduced yet to whoever the present day person is. Well, I did want to find out what happens when you die. That's always something that's really important to me. I hate being set back very far. I was hardly set back at all. In fact, I think I just respawned because the enemies that I had killed, I think they might be still dead. I don't know, let me get my bird out. Oh, no. Their enemies have respawned, and now there are 3 of those skull vultures. So it kind of got worse. Okay, does that little glow around me mean that I'm successfully hidden right now? Oh, man! There's 2 of these guys now. Oh! I'm in trouble. Do I have any, like, health potions? Nope, I don't see any health potions. Okay. What is that? R1 plus R2. Whoa, what did I just do? Oh, nice though. Okay, so when there are no more enemies in the area, then I recharge my health? Is that how that works? Oh, I don't want to carry this guy. Oh, so that was my overpower ability when I pressed R1 and R2. When your adrenaline bar is full, you can unleash the power of your weapon by pressing R1 plus R2. Every weapon class has its own unique ability. Okay. Ooh, your life can regenerate during combat. Okay, well, I definitely want to be able to regenerate health during combat. Oh, I blocked! I thought I blocked! I can't see! Okay, so your damage and health increases when you level up either way, so I don't have to purchase more health. Or more, what is that, damage capacity, probably? Ooh. I can increase my range damage if I get more of those. Okay, I should go hunting for a little while then. I'm digging this hunting stuff. Yeah, since I've only just started Assassin's Creed 3, I don't really have a sense of kind of how the series fully has evolved up to, you know, the entry just before this game. But I'll say that from where I'm at Assassin's Creed 3, this does not feel like an Assassin's Creed game. But I'm enjoying it. Because I enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's reminding me a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn and what that felt like. Oops! Oh crap, didn't mean to kill a civilian there, I was trying to get my camel to run faster. Oh, Zerk 23, yeah. Looks like these are little player icons or something, right? Okay, you know, let's look at the legend. Oh, photo. Does that mean a player took a photo there? Oh, I see. Okay, so these are just photos taken by players that are then put on my map to look at if I want to. Who the crap cares? Can I make those go away? Nope, can't filter them out. Alright, well, hope they don't overpopulate my map. Oof. I don't even know who, like, these people are that are attacking me. I guess, like, there's a bad pharaoh, and there are guards that work for the bad pharaoh, and so they're being bad and attacking me. I don't know why they're attacking me on sight, though. I, like, have no understanding of the context of my actions. The opening of the game was so weird and vague. Yeah, I'm just going around and following quest markers and killing people who get mad at me. I like the addition of this eagle to scout out areas like Far Cry Primal. That's cool. Yeah, this really feels like Horizon Zero Dawn with the whistling, calling him over, and then taking him down. There we go. So it is an Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, I'm definitely settling into a groove of just kind of finding activities on the map, traversing the open world, and doing some basic tasks, combat, looting, whatever. And that's really what I want from an Assassin's Creed game, is just a casual, relaxed power fantasy of jumping around and fighting bad guys. Oh, dang. There's gonna be a lot of places I can go. Holy crap. Oh man, I can only hide these pictures one at a time? How do I just hide all pictures, hide all photos? It's a more, like, spacious world. I'm not getting the same kind of enjoyment out of traversing this place as a typical Assassin's Creed game. I feel like there's more stuff, there's more clustered stuff that I need to, like, dodge and weave around or climb over and stuff. But if I don't compare it to an Assassin's Creed game, then it's fine, you know? Because it's, in many ways, it feels like, as I said, Horizon Zero Dawn, what it was like to traverse that open world. Dude, he can just climb like anything. Holy crap. Well, in the Assassin's Creed games I've played so far, there's usually like kind of a big opening sequence with lots of kind of set-piece moments, and very, very cinematic and kind of scripted events that you can interact with. This game isn't really having a lot of that. It's got some, but not in the same way as the ones I've played so far. But now I'm finally getting some backstory of Bayek, the main character. He's a father, and I'm always a sucker for a father-son story, although I'm not sure how much we're going to see of him with his son. But elements related to being a father seem to be driving him. That's interesting to see that happening with a protagonist. Maybe it's an indication that the developers are getting older and entering into that stage of life, or that they recognize their player base is getting older and entering into that stage of life. It seems like it's slowly becoming more common in games. Like the God of War game coming up would be another example of that. So I appreciate that on some level the value of the family unit is seeping in as a virtuous and good thing, finding its way into video game stories. Okay, I'm about 3 hours in, and now it's starting to really get its hooks into me. It wasn't at first. I'm trying to figure out right now if the space feels a little bit too big for the amount of quests and things to do inside of it. I mean, the fact that they have this option in here to just kind of auto-travel to your custom destination, and I can sit here and be talking about this for a while, hands folded behind my head, maybe says something about the space here. I don't know. Jerry's still out. Oh, jeez! Dude, you can just climb anything in this game. I don't mind, though. That's cool. Although, potentially, it does remove some of the, I don't want to say the challenge, because, I mean, challenge isn't really super important for me, but maybe some of the decision-making. And, even in Horizon Zero Dawn, there's that light climbing puzzle element of, okay, if I go there, then I can go up there, and there, okay, that's my route, Whereas that really isn't an issue in this game. Which means that there's no real kind of like satisfaction kind of puzzling your way up a surface. Leap of faith! Oh, there's no thing. I can toggle my hood on. That, I guess, that feels a little bit more like an Assassin's Creed game now. Okay, now we get a little bit of the present day stuff. Well, out in the the physical world, I mean, for those, if you're not familiar with the Assassin's Creed games, they involve usually some character in the present day accessing memories of one of their ancestors in the distant past. The vast majority of these games are played in those distant past memories, and yet the overarching story is about what's going on in the modern times. And there's this main character, this lady who, you can dig into her computer, which I almost missed this, and find emails and audio files that kind of give you hints of her background, who she is, and but I just kind of wish that stuff was more given to me, and I didn't have to search for it. And I can listen to these audio logs, but I just have to sit and do nothing but listen to them, and they're not quite interesting enough for me to want to do that. So it would be nice if they took a cue from BioShock and many other imitators and give me audio logs while I'm on the go or while I'm doing something else. So I'm not a big fan yet of kind of how they're telling me the story. And aside from the father-son stuff, really the story itself is not doing anything for me. But that's not saying much, because I never play games for their story, and I almost never am really interested in the story of a game. Oh, they have changed it up, inspired by historical events. Did you see that? That was really interesting. I want to come back to that. I didn't catch all of what it said. Usually what they have at the beginning there is, this game was created by a multicultural team, or a team made up of multiple ethnicities and religious beliefs. And they changed it up this time. I don't know if one of those things was missing, but they added gender identities or sexual identity, something like that. I don't know. And I've always wondered, I've always wanted to sit down with the developer and say, now why do you include that there? Are you just kind of proud of your diversity in who you employ? Or is that kind of we can pick at religions, we're allowed to pick at religions, don't be offended as we pick at religions because we have people of all kinds of religions here? I don't know what that means. I don't know what... I feel like they put that there at the beginning of the game to prevent something that the player might feel or think that's negative. I don't know why that little message is there. Well, I hear things happening. Am I going to get to see anything? Loading, loading, loading. Keep that load screen loading. Loading, loading, loading. Time flies. I wish time flew. It's not right now. What the crap is going on? Do I need to try this again? Well, now I can take another crack at reading their political correctness policy. Inspired by historical events and characters, this work of fiction was designed, developed, and produced by a multicultural team of various beliefs, sexual orientations, and gender... I think it said gender identities? Yeah, I don't know why they feel like they need to put that there. Yeah, okay, well, I've spent over 5 hours with the game. I got out of the opening area. I'm at level 8. I feel like I have a sense of what this experience is, but I'm not sure. The missions I've played so far involve, maybe sneaking around places, finding specific loot, or rescuing people or something. But I haven't had any of the kind of, insta-fail missions, like where you gotta protect this person, and if they die, game over. Or you gotta sneak through this area, if you get spotted, game over. Or you gotta chase this guy, if he gets too far away, game over. Those kinds of things. I mean, it's just death, basically, that brings game over in this game, which I like. I hate those insta-fail types of missions of past Assassin's Creed games. And yet, even 5 hours in, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm like, well, am I going to start seeing those missions at some point? But that's just speculation. Right now, it has a similar kind of rhythm to as Horizon Zero Dawn. Traveling a big open world, sneaking up on things and killing them and getting rewards. And then occasionally getting into combat with, a handful or less of enemies. The sneaking so far hasn't been vital. It's been a way to kind of thin out the ranks, of bad guys in an area before you go in guns blazing, as it were. And that's how I like to use stealth. I like to use stealth to help me, thin out the ranks and give me kind of an advantage, but I don't like to be required to never be spotted. One thing that puzzles me, I know it's called Assassin's Creed Origins, but I don't think I'm an assassin yet. I don't have the hidden blade that you have in all the other games that, do instant kills. And all of my takedowns I've been doing involve me grabbing guys and just punching them really hard, and then they stick around on the ground writhing and alive unless I take the time to slash them with my sword and kill them. So it's weird. I'm enjoying it, but it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game to me. It feels like an open world action RPG. 5 hours in, I also haven't gotten into the lore of the world very much. Past Assassin's Creed games are about this, battle between these two organizations, and the Templars trying to cover things up, and it's many times suggested that the origins of Christianity are false, and it's actually aliens that brought about these things that we read about in the Bible. And as crazy and conspiracy theorist as those ideas are, I'm interested in each game what they're going to do with biblical history this time around. And this one doesn't seem to have a kind of the underdog versus the overpowering organized religion. I don't mind the change of pace at all. I think, the underdog versus the evil organized religion is super played out. And yet, the kind of the meta game I'm playing in my mind with these Assassin's Creed games is trying to figure out, what does Ubisoft believe? What do they want to suggest is plausible as an alternative to what's presented in the Bible in terms of historical events? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking that too seriously. I don't think that Ubisoft really believes that aliens did all this stuff, but when we create science fiction, I think we're at least saying that, okay, here's a scenario that's plausible, or at least possible remotely. So I just wanted to see where they would go next and what that may or may not indicate about the prevailing theology and philosophy in the Ubisoft offices. Maybe I'll get more of that as I play more of the game. I don't know. What I do know is that I'm having a good time with the gameplay mechanisms themselves. Currently, I'm just renting this, but this is definitely one that I'm going to buy. I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I'll wait. I'll just wait and buy it. I'm playing my way through the Assassin's Creed series. I'm getting all caught up, and that's when I'll finally buy it, is when I finally play through all the other games. But this one feels so different that it's scratching a little bit of a different itch compared to what I've gotten used to with the Assassin's Creed games. So I can almost see myself playing this alongside of, or alternating back and forth between this one and the main Assassin's Creed series as I'm playing through it. The story, despite, a good father-son moment or two, is not doing anything for me. With these games, I really am in it for the meta story. What is Ubisoft going to affirm philosophically or theologically next? But in that regard, I feel like I've heard more from their philosophy with their opening statement of political correctness than from the story itself. Anyway, count me interested. Love the gameplay so far, but gosh, the jury is still way out on, who knows where the gameplay and the story could go moving forward. But I'm interested enough that I plan on finding out. I'm also toying with the idea of doing some kind of a philosophical retrospective on the entire Assassin's Creed series. I've been recording gameplay footage from some key scenes and key moments that deal with biblical history. As I play through each of the Assassin's Creed games, I've been storing those files away, and once I've caught up to Origins, I may do some kind of a retrospective and talk about the themes and the alternatives that Ubisoft presents in their story to biblical history. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, but if you'd be interested in seeing something like that, please let me know in the comments, and that might help spur me on in that direction. Alright, that's it for now. I would love to get your thoughts in the comments below. Are you an Assassin's Creed fan? Have you played the games up to this? Are you playing this one? What do you think of the changes they've made? I'd love to get all your thoughts on that. And then also, of course, I hope you join us over at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth.
Oh crap! Oh no! That got intense way faster than me. Oh, what was that?
Oh my gosh! Somebody saw me! Ah! So scary! Oh, I can't shoot!